Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. The rumors are true. My name is Taco, and this lighting with this background and this skin, I look transparent. Wow, I look transparent. It's the middle of the winter here, guys, and I don't get a lot of vitamin D. I don't get a lot of sun. I work a crazy schedule, and I don't see the sun too much. I went outside and just stood in the sun today because it's like 30 degrees out Fahrenheit, and it's like really good. Anyways, that has nothing to do with this. Welcome to Something to Talk About. And I've been doing Star Wars lore videos lately, and I'm going to continue that trend. This is my third one. I covered Luke Skywalker, and covered that's the evil clone of Skywalker, and I covered Ma, the amazing flying torso. Today, as you know, you clicked, but I'm covering a Doc Hutt, if you will. So I'm excited for this video. It's going to be shorter, hopefully, if I don't go on any more weather rants. I'm not turning into my dad. Let's talk about the weather. But yeah, this is going to be a fun one. And if you've never been here before, welcome. I do really long videos, not really long, but I don't do any cuts. I do one long take. And I kind of want the mix of the script with my improv and a boop ba da ba da ba doop ba doop. So I got a lot of uhs and stutters, and there might be dead space sometimes when my brain doesn't think well. But so I can think good. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Beldorion. Beldorion. That's such a different name for a Hutt because they're usually like Gandula, Jabba, Flabba, Blabba the Hutt. But this is Beldorion, which sounds very. My name is Beldorion. How are you? Table for two. For Beldorion. All right, that bit's not good. All right. This is some cool legends here. So again, this is legends. This isn't canon, and it's a little bit takes place, after the Battle of Yavin, after the original trilogy or the Ridge Tridge, and it involves Leia doing some Jediing. So it's cool. It's a cool little story, and let's just do it, man. So, whoa. That's the wrong slide. Spoilers. The Hutt Jedi. So this is about Beldorion the Hutt Jedi, discovered by the Jedi Order sometime before 400 BBY, because we know that the events happened in 400 BBY, so before then. That's before the Battle of Yavin. Records indicate that Beldorion was the only known Hutt to enter the Jedi Order. He was trained at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. During his training, he and other Jedi initiates were taken to the caves of Masoboshani, good old Masboshani, where they ran races. God, how well did he do? He's a Hutt. And to dark worlds like Afili and Yunimbeth, to hone their force senses. Beldorion graduated from the academy and was taken as a Padawan by just a Jedi Master. Following the years of travel and study, Beldorion passed his trials and got knighthood. And was trials of knighthood, and was elevated to the rank of Jedi Knight. Taking on a mission, he's taken on missions from the Jedi High Council. Beldorion was dispatched to Nam Choris with fellow knight Telsilda in 400 BBY. You guys hearing that knocking? It's my washing machine that does that. You're just going to have to put up with it. Telsilda does become a character later on, but remember, all this happens in 400 before the Battle of Yavin. So Yoda would have still been around, but this was all written before, the High Republic stuff, which I think is 300-ish, right? I don't know. I think it should be kind of around this time, but this is written before then. So none of that's, known about yet. So, and this isn't a picture of Beldorion. This is just, I typed in Hutt Jedi. Is what I got. He would have had a purple lightsaber. So let's talk about his fall to the dark side. Well, on the planet of, what did I say? Nam Choris, Well, on the planet, the two Jedi failed to complete their mission, and when they fell to the lure of the dark side of the Force and abandoned the Order, Beldorion cast aside Tasilda. I've read her name so many times, but you never read it out loud, as the weaker half of the team and established himself as a ruler in the world, providing so he made himself the ruler of this planet and providing his subjects with honorifics, which he should be addressed by, such as Beldorion the Ruby Eyes and Beldorion the Splendid. He's so splendid. Beldorion was corrupt and enslaved many. Well, originally prepared as Beldorion's meal, the Dorch, known as Decim, came to conspire with the Hutt, helping the Dark Jedi remain strong and useful in exchange for freedom and access of the planet's rare Sil stones. Okay, so what did I just say? So this dude named Decim was a little bug, and he was made so Beldorion could eat him. They made him into a big humanoid, like a dude, a bug made into a dude. This is some real All Tomorrow stuff, right? And get that reference. I got an All Tomorrow's vid on this channel. And Beldorion then wanted to eat him, but the bug, now a humanoid bug, was like, hey, let's conspire together, your advisor. And he falls for it. And he ends up actually being manipulated by Decim. I didn't write any of it down, but when he's like later on, a lot of his power has been like kind of sapped and controlled by this dude. And he's kind of getting to be a husk of himself way later on. When this happens, so avoiding the Great Jedi Purge, it wasn't until 13 after the Battle of Yavin. So this is after Return of the Jedi. Beldorion's relatively unopposed rule was disrupted by the arrival of Jedi Casilta Ming. Well, she was unsuccessful in getting to the Hutt and imprisoned. Her disappearance drew the attention of Luke Skywalker, who was the founder and rebuilt the Jedi Order, and his twin sister, Leia Organa. Like Ming, Leia was also captured by the Hutt, who divulged stories from the past, recalling his histories of the Jedi Masters of Thrawn and Yoda. And during her captivity, Organa was able to regain possession of her lightsaber. So before we get to her getting her lightsaber, so what happens? Chick comes to the planet, right? He captures her, and then Leia comes to save her. She gets captured too by a Hutt. We'll get to that. There's definitely some symbolism stuff going on here, right? But I don't sound very smart when I'm like, there's some symbolism stuff going on. Like counting crows. I felt so symbolic yesterday. Like, I know you're trying to sound deep, but you're not. I know I'm not. But so now she's captured, and he almost like finding kinship again, like, oh, you're a Jedi, and he starts talking about his Jedi days. That's not enough to turn him back to the light side, though, but I do find it kind of funny that when she's in a cage, he's like, so you know Yoda? She's like, no, I never met him, but my brother did. Oh, let me tell you all about him. Horrible little scamp, this guy, like he just tells her stories. And then she gets her lightsaber. During her captivity, she was able to regain possession of her lightsaber and engage her captor in a duel. Though centuries-old Dark Jedi was powerful, Organa was able to move more freely and bisected the Hutt at the midsection. Cut through him. He had a purple lightsaber, too. That's so cool. So, yeah, she's able to get free, and she has a cool little lightsaber battle and ends up killing this Hutt after he's at least 400 and something. He's probably 500 and something, right? He's really old. And yeah, let's talk about what I kind of perceive some symbolism here. So Leia being captured by Jabba and needing to kill him was a very important event in her life, right? And she was made a slave and put in a very vulnerable and revealing suit. And her strangling him, I just wrote it as a desperate attack, but the way I saw it was she didn't duel Jabba, right? She wasn't at equal playing field with this big monster. She was enslaved, she was put in the chains, and she used the symbolism of her enslavement, the chains, to wrap around and strangle him, right? It's more of escaping your captor, right? It's not like a duel, right? It's more of if somebody came into my house and instead of me having a gunfight with him, he enslaved me, I ended up like wrapping the handcuffs around his throat. It's me overcoming. So I was the victim and I overcame my more powerful captor. That's not what happens the second time. That's what I really like because it's showing this cool symbolic growth for Leia. So this isn't a desperate attack. So this time she has power. She's not helpless. She's imprisoned by a Hutt again, but she isn't weak and vulnerable. She doesn't strangle him with her own chains. She defeats him in a lightsaber duel. So she gets out and literally on equal playing field has a lightsaber duel with him and then ends up besting him. I think they made him a Hutt and made her get in prison to really draw attention back to what happened with her at Jabba's palace and kind of show she isn't, she isn't enslaved anymore. She's not in this suit, right? She's not a symbol, she's overcame that of a symbol of a victim and is very much on level playing field with an evil Hutt this time. I just thought that was cool and interesting, right? So that's what I want to talk about. So it's a little story. It wasn't a lot. He doesn't have a lot to him, but he's still the evil Hutt Dark Jedi, and I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk about the cool symbolism of Leia not finally because she overcame Jabba, but Leia overcoming this Hutt in a lot more different way. So that's it. That was my video. Thank you for watching. I have some other Star Wars videos, and check out all the other stuff on my channel. I got a lot of stuff. Yeah, so may the Force be with you, and whatever you do, do not turn to the dark side, and whatever you do, do not be enslaved by an evil worm or slug either. Bye!